Oh man, let's see if I can still do this here, guys. What's going on, everybody? It's me, your long lost digital homie. Say it with me now, everybody. I am stupid dump. What is that? No, man, I'm Super Dave. And this is Milltown's Best. Man, today, guys, I want to talk about something that might be messing with my life coming up here. And that is the US legal system, federal legal system. Have any of you guys ever heard of the term vexatious litigant?
Vexatious litigation is legal action which is brought solely to harass or subdue an adversary. It may take the form of a primary frivolous lawsuit, or may be the repetitive, burdensome, and unwarranted filing of meritless motions in a matter which is otherwise a meritorious cause of action. Filing vexatious litigation is considered an abuse of the judicial process and may result in sanctions against the offender.
Yeah, I know it sounds like a bunch of like lawyer talk or something, but trust me, this is important, especially if you're going to be getting sued by some clown who just don't know when to stop. Now, guys, before we jump in, if you've ever had to deal with this, you know what kind of pain it is. You know, just knowing that someone is just throwing lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit at you for no real reason. Trust me, guys, it gets frustrating and it damages you mentally. Seriously. It's annoying and it does damage. It really does. Worst of all, it's wasting his time and money and my time and money. In this video, guys, I want to break it down. I want to talk about what is a vexatious litigant. How do you deal with one? And I'm going to even throw in a few court cases just to show you that this stuff is real. Stick around, guys. We got a lot to talk about. We got to start with the basics here. A vexatious litigant is basically someone who just keeps suing people, even though they have no real case. Like they are just out here using the court system to be petty or to harass you. You ask me, what's their goal? Well, their goal is to waste your time, your energy, and your money. They don't care about winning. They just want to make your life miserable. And you guys know how it is. Some people just love that drama. You know, whether it's for content or not, they revel in drama. But honestly, when they do this, they're taking things way too far. You guys got to remember the key thing with these folks is that they don't have a legit legal claim. They'll file a lawsuit, get it thrown out, and then they'll turn around and file it again and again and again. It's like they got an endless supply of lawsuits just waiting to be thrown at you. And trust me, I've seen this in action. So people are out here dealing with this nonsense. How do you handle a vexatious litigant? First off, you got to know the courts aren't playing around when it comes to these people. They're not. It's just that simple. If you can prove that they're vexatious, you could be labeled as one. And being labeled as a vexatious litigant is the last thing you want.
A single action, even a frivolous one, is usually not enough to raise a litigant to the level of being declared vexatious. Rather, a pattern of frivolous legal actions is typically required to rise to the level of vexatious. Repeated and severe instances by a single lawyer or firm can result in eventual disbarment. Some jurisdictions have a list of vexatious litigants, people who have repeatedly abused the legal system. Because lawyers could be disbarred for participating in this abuse of the legal process, vexatious litigants are often unable to retain legal counsel, and such litigants therefore represent themselves in court.
Because honestly, you might not be able to file lawsuits again without court's permission. So honestly, what else can you do to protect yourself? Let's break it down, guys. One thing you can do is file a motion to dismiss.
A motion to dismiss is a formal request made to a court by a party, often the defendant, to dismiss a case or specific claims within a case, arguing that the case or claims are invalid or have legal flaws, preventing them from proceeding to trial.
Basically, you're telling the court, yo, man, this lawsuit has no legs. Please stop wasting my time. Also, if this person is out here really harassing you, you might consider asking the court for sanctions.
In a legal context, sanctions are penalties or punishments imposed by a court to enforce compliance with laws, rules, or court orders, aiming to deter future misconduct and ensure fairness in proceedings.
That's where you ask the court to hit them with fines or penalties to get them to chill out. Seriously. Courts don't like people wasting their time. So if you can show that this person is being malicious, they might just start paying for all the drama they caused. And folks, if things get that bad, like really bad, You might even need to ask the courts for a protective order.
A protective order, also known as a restraining order, is a court-issued legal document that aims to protect an individual from potential harm or abuse, often involving domestic violence, stalking, or harassment.
That's where the court says, nah, you can't file any more lawsuits unless you get the judge's approval first. Now, that is like some serious power move type stuff and should only be utilized in serious cases of harassment. All right, guys, let's talk some real talk. There have been some wild cases in the US where people got hit with the vexatious litigant label. Check this out, guys. In 2014, this dude named Green tried to flood the courts with a bunch of useless lawsuits. He wasn't even trying to win any of them. He was just trying to cause chaos. The Ninth Circuit Court said, nah, we ain't doing this, and made him a vexatious litigant. From there on out, he could not file a single lawsuit without getting the court's permission first. That's what happens when you waste the court's time. Then there's the Bridges versus the city of Burbank case in California. This guy kept suing the city with no real reason. The courts got fed up and called him out. They said, hey, man, you're just here to make life hard, not actually here to resolve anything. So the city fought back, and this dude got the label of a vexatious litigant, meaning he couldn't file lawsuits anymore either. Sucks to be him. Like the boy who cried wolf, is it not? All right, guys, let's think about it. What if I'm the one who wants to file a lawsuit? I don't want to end up on the wrong side of it. Seriously. So before I would file anything, I would make sure my case is legit. I would make sure it's not for some personal grudge or something petty that's not going to fly in the courts. I got to remember that courts take things seriously. So don't be out here playing around, making content, or doing whatever you're doing it for. Make sure there is a legitimate claim and there are legitimate damages. If you file lawsuits left and right with no real claim, you would be the one who would be filed a vexatious litigant. So this is the rundown on vexatious litigants, everybody. You don't want to deal with them, and you sure don't want to be labeled as one. But if you are, at least know what you got to do. You got the tools to fight back, and trust me, the court system is here. And the court system is not about wasting people's time. Make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe, and leave a comment. If you have any crazy legal situations you want to share, leave them in the comments below. We might just dive into those next. Guys, I love you. Today, tell somebody you love them too, because they just might need to hear it today, because they themselves are dealing with a vexatious litigant. Bye, guys.
You can't sue what's already broke. Throw your papers at thin air and smoke. Good guy standing, no wealth to poke. Fighting words, but I'm laughing at the joke.